Hey everybody, this pretty much is Burbank, Washington. I'm just showing you this really quick because it made me think as I was getting close to the border of Pasco, which is where kind of close to the Hanford Nuclear Reservation, about the kind of ideas that come from people from small towns. Burbank is where Chuck Palahniuk is from, and he's the guy that wrote Fight Club amongst other works. Fight Club was a book that was turned into a film directed by David Fincher, who's done many other films, including like Zodiac. He did Gone Girl. He did Seven. David Fincher's done so many. Oh, The Game. That's probably one of the most important David Fincher films to understand, because it's all about structural reality, high-tech, live-action role plays, which is effectively what Chuck Palahniuk's Fight Club is like about. It's about a group of people that decide that they've had enough and that they're going to basically do all types of like mayhem incidences to sort of like take over America, to remind the elite class that they're not having it anymore, you know? And so I can kind of see signs in America that they're following the template of Fight Club. They're following this sort of Project Mayhem. They even put it within their cryptograms and codes and ciphers, you know, a lot of the groups that are behind some of the Zodiac crimes. And if you think about it, folks, it makes sense that the modern day Zodiac killers or people that are doing continuation crimes for the Zodiac folks, they're leaving symbols behind, Zodiac symbols and everything that are obviously a reference to it. But they mimic things from the past or from Hollywood fictions like that. And because David Fincher's the one that directed Zodiac as a film, and that film itself is a cryptogram and has lots of ciphers that lead back to who the real Zodiac killers are, and even discusses how it's actually a continuation thing. It's multi-generational. It continues on to this day. It's just being done in a different way. My point is that it's these small towns that you're not paying attention to. It's these areas like this that are completely off the radar, that everybody's like not paying attention. And I'm telling you, you need to pay attention to the things that are being thought up out here. You need to put your focus on the people that are coming up with some of these ideas that are spreading across America and the rest of the world. It leads back to these small towns. I'm from here. I know. What I'm saying, folks, is like, if you've ever found my mind impressive on any level, whether it's energetics things or just my ability to put together information, I'm not saying you should, but if you do, just remember, this really is kind of one of the areas that I spent most of my time in. It's these little towns where you're in these communities filled with other people that, you know, you don't have like all of the luxuries of modern civilization like everybody did. Even in the 80s, we had even less. So you had to be more innovative. You had to think up more ways to entertain yourselves and each other. And it's an interesting thing that you start to piece everything together and you realize that it was a small town like Burbank. It was a small town like Tri-Cities that was really the intellectual hotbed of all of these modern psychological warfare operations going on. These things that you call live action role plays or mayhem events. Folks, they're very sophisticated, and they have America arguing with one another and very divided right now. And I'm asking you to take a step back at some of these narratives that have been presented to you in the media, and to ask yourselves, like, are you sure that you're accepting a correct reality? Are you sure some of the things that they have you and your neighbors fighting over and debating, some of these incidences that were really controversial and even led to trials, are you certain that they're real? And here's the thing, it's okay to question it, because I've given you actually a pathway through which you can actually decipher how some of it is in fact fiction. And that there's people that have the sophistication, they have the access, the ability to create fake personalities, populate them within records, including social security databases. When you follow my research, I can actually give you the tangible leads that show you how it was all done, and that it all leads back to basically areas like this, where the man who thought up Fight Club is from. And if you don't think that that book and that film didn't change the landscape of modern, you know, everything. No, that was almost like a psychological warfare manual for a certain group of people. It was like a mission statement for them. I mean, it's a good quality film, folks. I mean, it's a good book and everything, and Chuck Palahniuk's a good quality author, but others have definitely taken the template of this material and really gone hog wild with it. And again, it all started in these little benign farm areas like this. So please just reconsider what you've been trained to accept within your news and media cycles. I can actually tell you the etymology of exactly precisely the production teams that are behind the faking it, why they're faking it, why they get the participation of so many media organizations to fake it. Because folks, if you take me at all seriously, you must know something's definitely wrong when my story should be the story. It should be like, you know, at least somewhere within the A section of the newspaper, it should be something that you've heard of. Yet they've managed to bury this narrative with false narratives, which is why I know how much of what you consume daily is in fact a false reality. I know the people that have manufactured it, because part of why it was manufactured was to cover up their very activities. So those of you who are interested in correcting this, we can do this in a way that's legal and lawful, that's out in the open, where we can work together and band together and form a team where we'll get the truth out and we'll be focused completely on the truth. We're not going to be about politics and this versus that. We'll just be completely about, our mission statement is complete, absolute transparency and truth. And that's all I'm trying to do with this material out here, folks. I don't always know exactly what's going on. It sometimes takes me a long time because I've been in the eye of the hurricane for a long time. And that's why I wanted to give you this quick update from Burbank while I'm out here, because it really does all start in towns like this.